I do outreach, to work with our partners, and I work with a lot of different trade groups. Lockout's a big issue for us. It's in the top 10 consistently as to what OSHA cites. And quite frankly, I did just a little blurb on accidents. And I came up with, just for about a 18-month period, about 20 fatalities just where I looked at lockout. I just hit LOTO in the OSHA webpage and came up with about 18 fatalities related to it. I've done fatalities on just about every kind of energy there is. In 30 years with OSHA, I've done probably a little over 100, 125 fatalities on my own, and probably supervised another 100 or so. So we've done them on air pressure, which, by the way, is why OSHA has a very jaded view of safety and health, because what we see is all the bad results. You guys see it where they do it 95 times out of the 100 and never get bit. We have to do all the fatalities. We're mandated to do that. The new standard, by the way, has changed the definition of qualified person for the electrical standard, and I need people to be aware of it, because it went from one familiar with the construction and operation of the equipment and the hazards involved to one who has received training in and has demonstrated skills and knowledge. What's this word demonstrated mean? Perform. So that means you have to audit that person to make sure that they are doing it right. This applies to the electrical standard. This is 1910-399. So what we find is that there's a lot of grandfather types out there. Oh, he's been doing this for 20 years. We still need that demonstration. And documentation of the training. So cover yourself on this and document the training, because what we see is that occasionally we will not get the right response from the employee. And they'll say, I think I was. You know, just document it so we don't issue the citations. Do we issue citations to employees? No. We issue them to employers. And you have to enforce it. And if you're going to ever claim employee misconduct as a defense, you have to show an ongoing program of enforcement. And that doesn't mean just, and I'll give you this hint, I've never lost a case, and I've litigated twice to the Supreme Court in my career, which has been a wonderful experience. World's best collection of lawyer jokes. But the reality is that I've never lost a case where they've claimed employee misconduct when I go to their injury log and find out that the only people they ever write up are the people that are injured. You have to be proactive and also write up those who aren't injured. But sometimes we see that laziness factor come in. Oh, I don't want to write that person up. And then when you're writing up the workers' comp form or the accident report form, suddenly you write that person up. No, that's wrong. And once I get those records, it's been clear sailing in litigation as to beating that employee misconduct defense. You have to have an ongoing program.
Is it possible if the employer dots all their I's, crosses all the T's, that there could be an accident and OSHA won't find the employer?
Sure, I've done fatalities where we didn't issue citations.
So as long as there are programs in place for lockout, they're properly training their employees and auditing their program, they could avoid all fines even if there was a fatality.
I did, one of the worst fatalities I ever did was, and I won't mention the name of the company, but the guy was actually their trainer. And he had a weldment fall on top of him. He was the guy that trained the people on how to set it up. And it fell on top. He was responsible for setting it up. The problem is his wife was diagnosed with cancer that day. So was his mind on what he was doing? So he goes to work and he's thinking about things. Does he make a mistake? Yeah. He's got documented training. Everybody I interviewed said, he's the one that told us how to check this out. And after we're doing the welding on it, we're supposed to even check it after it's been heated a bit, because there is an expansion factor. But yeah, if you document it well, we don't have an issue with it. It's hard for us to prove. But if you don't, more often than not, we find nobody documents.